What's up, guys? For those of you who don't know, my name is Artie Maupin. I also go by Art sometimes if you see me at events. Today is going to be day one of our rebuild project. We're resurrecting a dinosaur, if you will. Most of the stuff you see on social media or YouTube, stuff like that, it seems like there's a lot of people they're fixing up or building a brand new truck, or they're tearing it down and turning it into some, wild SEMA build or drag truck or sled pull, whatever it is. I've already been down that path, and I thought it would be kind of interesting to do something else. Luckily for me, my dad has a 2001 Dodge 3500 dually, and it was used to pull our race car trailer. We used to go racing every weekend, and unfortunately my dad suffered an injury which didn't allow him to continue racing, so the truck kind of just sat because he wasn't racing anymore. That truck has been sitting for 7, 8, 9 years, a really long time. It was going to be mine one day regardless, but I couldn't just let it sit there any longer, and I pretty much asked him, and he gave me the go ahead. Like, let's see what we can do to bring this thing back. I want to bring it back to life. It's such a sweet truck. Those old 24 valves just have like that certain sound, and they look good. I feel like almost everyone likes them. But yeah, we're going to be resurrecting a dinosaur, if you will. It's not a 12 valve, but it's old. It's 2001. So let's take a look at it here real quick. So as you can see, it is not perfect. However, I've washed it a couple different times. I'm trying to bring it back the best that I can, but it's sat for a long time. Like I said, it is not perfect. It's got rust. It's like the back doors, for some reason, they don't like to open. It's got its scratches, you know what I mean? It's not, but what do you expect? When it sits that long, that's just what's gonna happen. This thing is completely stock from what I think so. He's had it for as long as I can remember, and he never did anything to it. I've already kind of been messing around with it here lately, just trying to do the things it had to do. It needed fresh batteries, obviously. It sits long enough, it's gonna kill the batteries. Set it up with some new cables. Look at this turbo. Something is not right there. Not a ton of play, but clearly this thing it's seen better days, right? So we've got quite a bit of parts to put on this thing and really bring this thing back to life. It's not going to be some crazy sled pulling machine or even a drag, you know what I mean? Like, it's a gigantic truck. It's meant to pull, and the plan is to fix this thing up and have a secondary old school tow rig and just bring it back to life. So what kind of parts list do we have? Like I said, this thing has sat for a really long time, so there's a lot of things that probably work okay, but a clean bill of health will make me feel better. So we got a new turbocharger, new exhaust manifold. We've got a set of powder injectors. We got some front end suspension parts. Also, we just got done putting on a VP44. This truck sat for so long, like I mentioned. It started, and I got it to drive to where I changed the pump at. It only ran for like a little bit, and it would only go 10 miles an hour. It was throwing all kinds of codes, and it was running really rough. So I'm honestly shocked that it even started, but I pulled the fuel filter out of the housing, and it was trashed. It looked horrible. So whenever I pulled the fuel filter out, I guess I gave it just enough clean fuel, and the pump had one last little ounce of effort in it to get it running long enough to get me to move it to where it was. I had to post it up out here in the field so it could look pretty now, but I got a new hot rod VP44 on here. It was a BD pump that they manufacture, and instantly, as soon as we put that on, I also put an air dog fuel system on it, because ultimately, again, if you guys know anything about these trucks, you have to have fuel pressure, otherwise it's gonna die. It's not the funnest job in the world to do, so slapped on that VP44, got the air dog on there, got it wired up, and cracked the line. As soon as I saw fuel, tied it up, it fired right off. So it runs great. But yeah, so anyway, getting a little off topic here. So we got a new turbo, new manifold, bunch of front suspension parts, new injection pump, new injectors, new crossover tubes. We've got the tuning in there. We got quite a bit of stuff that's going to go on this truck. And like I said, the plan is to make this thing like just a sick old tow rig. That's not one of your like brand new pickup trucks with 24s on it or something like that. I want to make this like I want it to look like a cool old second gen dually, right? So let's take a look at our parts. Sway bar end links, as you know, front suspension on these trucks, they're trash. Set of head studs, keep that head on the block. Got a nasty looking rear diff cover, as you can imagine. The factory one is just not looking that great. You know, what do you expect after sitting forever and basically getting mowed into its whole life? Fresh injection pump, got an air dog system on there. We're just gonna go in with an all new fuel system. So we got a set of BD 75 horsepower injectors that'll go in, and we can't stop there. Got a set of fresh connector tubes that are going in. I get questioned about that a lot. Do I need to replace those whenever I do injectors? I've always just been told to look at them, and if they look okay, use them. But something like this has been sitting so long, we're gonna use new ones. Fresh turbocharger mounting gasket, new exhaust manifold gaskets. We got a new manifold in the truck. And then the star of the show is this Screamer turbo. Man, with this turbocharger and that edge juice with attitude mixed with these 75 horse injectors, we are gonna have a nasty fun little old tow rig. So there you have it. That's the truck, 2001. If you can believe it, even though it's got the rust and the doors don't like to open, this truck only has like 120,000 miles. It's actually pretty clean once you spruce it up some and give it that 10 or 11 care that it wants. Headlights look like crap. It's rough now, but man, give me some time. This thing has serious potential. We did the injection pump. It runs great now. Now it just needs some cosmetic work. It needs some other things under the hood. And like I said, give us some time. This is a new series. We're gonna be going at it. Try to come out with, videos every couple weeks, however long it takes. We're gonna get this thing looking right, running right, and we're gonna utilize it. We're gonna use it, we're gonna work it and show you the parts we got work great. Stay tuned.